A warm welcome to this short presentation about our simulation concept, Fort Fantastic. I am from Bughazi Labs, a young startup company out of Bochum University of Applied Sciences in Germany. We are developers of business games and simulations for educational purposes. Our motto, there is no better way to learn. A simulation is an artificially created environment in which we want participants to learn. Since the key focus of Fort Fantastic is on team processes, a fun park was chosen as a basic and generally applicable scenario. A Fort Fantastic simulation can be facilitated for 1 to 4 teams with 3 to 9 participants each. Different from many other available concepts focusing on strategic or marketing management, our simulation centers on operational issues. The key process which participants have to handle entails resolving failures, quite a lot of which occur during a round. The logic is quite simple. The faster each attraction gets back to operational availability, the lesser the impact on customer satisfaction and the higher the impact on sales and profit. Even though all team activities and options are simulated with their commercial outcomes, financial management is not the key focus of this simulation. The created simulation environment allows participants to have quite a number of experiences. The work process is divided among a number of different roles. Although working towards common goals, participants understand right from the beginning that division of labor is necessary. Also, players will soon discover that each role has different information available, and that without established processes of communication does not work automatically. Instead, some form of leadership and/or team organization is required. The competitive approach leads to a good bit of stress, which can occasionally push someone out of their comfort zone. The task of the facilitator is to channel and focus experiences towards the educational objective of the training. Within Fort Fantastic, these can be manifold, which is why Fort Fantastic is considered more a training platform than a fixed seminar topic. Given the large number of educational objectives that can be supported, the facilitator has to carefully select and concentrate on one or more of them in the debriefing discussion. Fort Fantastic seminars can be organized from half-day to 2 to 3-day trainings depending on the amount of theoretical input given. The standard approach is a 1-day seminar without theoretical input. After the briefing, the simulation runs for several rounds, interrupted by outcome reflections and subsequent team meetings. After the winning team has been celebrated, the facilitator engages the participants in the debriefing discussion, focusing on connecting experiences with the defined educational objectives of the training. Let us now have a look at the different roles that are available. Participants choosing the control room sit in front of a computer which indicates the operational availability of the park attractions. If a failure occurs, the resulting error message has to be forwarded to the second role, technical support. Based on a manual, a solution code has to be identified by going through a number of simple information processing steps. The resulting solution code has to be returned to the person in the control room who enters it into the system. If the solution code is correct, the failure is resolved and the attraction goes back to full operational availability. If the solution code is wrong, however, a penalty is imposed. A third role is called operating business. These players have all the information on costs and appeal levels of the different attractions. Being the process owners of operations, they have the management responsibility for process design and efficiency. The operating business role can choose from 150 predefined activity cards which provide different options for influencing the operational process. The last role, the park manager, is optional. Apart from being responsible for the team, the park manager has no further obligations. The park manager's role is a very good opportunity to observe and to reflect leadership behavior. However, it is interesting to observe how the team performs without someone being formally appointed to the leader role. This screenshot is a copy of the monitoring tool used by Control Room. Beside each attraction, you see a dot indicating its operational availability. Green indicates 100% availability. Orange indicates a failure with an impact of 25% on availability. Yellow means the attraction is only 50% available. And finally, red signals a complete breakdown. If the operational availability indicator changes color, a message in the ticker box below provides information on the nature of the failure. On the right side, the smiley indicates the current customer satisfaction. The graph at the bottom provides ongoing information about the profit development. The room arrangement plan shows how the team tables are located in a typical seminar room. In order to make the team internal communication as realistic as possible, control room and technical support should always be as far away as possible. This forces the participants to communicate by physically transporting their messages. Technically, the team systems and the instructor system are connected by Wi-Fi. This enables the instructor system to consolidate all data to produce a management dashboard. For each team, the dashboard provides real-time data on team activities and non-activities, as well as performance outcomes. The projector connected to the instructor system displays the dashboard on the screen for all participants to see. Ultimately, it is this full performance transparency that sparks the competition between the teams and simulates a dynamic environment, leading to high personal engagement for each participant. Here we have a larger image of the dashboard. During this introduction, we do not have the time to go into detail, so our main purpose for the time being is to show that the dashboard is professionally appealing, which adds to the general acceptance of the simulation far beyond the gaming aspect. Consequently, Fort Fantastic is generally considered to be a very realistic simulation, which allows real-world experiences to evolve. The theoretical approach behind the simulation is not to teach participants how to run a fun park. This is just a scenario on the surface. Our real goal is to generate an environment in which a team faces constantly growing challenges, and we want to observe and to reflect on how the team goes about meeting these challenges. For instance, how they interact, coordinate, and communicate, and what problems they encounter in adapting behaviors to whatever needs to be done. The performance feedback of the dashboard drives teams to constantly reflect on the behavior outcomes and to optimize their internal processes. Following the Deming cycle, there is a constant pressure for continual improvement. However, the pressure is not imposed by the facilitator, but comes from the lack of efficiency the participants themselves observe in the dashboard. In institutionalized team meetings after each round, teams are given the opportunity to coordinate, identify areas of improvement, and prepare for the challenges of the next round. This facilitates self-induced learning on the team level. Finally, we will end this presentation with some pictures of Fort Fantastic seminars. We begin with a participant working at the control room taking notes of failure messages. In the joint dashboard analysis after each round, all participants typically group around the screen and go through the relevant information. The facilitator moderates the interpretation of the data. This is just one example of a knowledge database which consists of all solution codes identified for the different failures. Here we see participants grouping around the operating business table. Technical support deeply involved in finding the right solutions. Another group busy optimizing their team performance. At the end of the day, one thing is for sure, participants will have had fun. Any more questions? Please contact our CEO personally.